Hello and welcome to Train Sim World 3. Today we're on the brand new route, which is the Linke Rheinstrecke, or Left Rhine, that goes all the way from Koblenz to Mainz, and I apologise if I butcher any German here. As you can see, we've got the DBBR 103 just leaving the station, and we're going to be taking it on an intercity service all the way to Mainz. As you can see, we've got 62 kilometres to go. So it's going to be a fairly direct service, no stops along the way, but hopefully we get an opportunity to see the beautiful scenery that is the Rhine. So if you enjoy this one, why don't you hit that like button and also subscribe if you're new here. So without further ado, let's jump into the cab and see what this is all about. I will point out one thing because, this is a first look. We've got to see what it's about. Come on, textures, straight away. Not good. Let's be accelerating. Got to get the tap changer just about right so that we can get the right level of power as we speed up. It's a lovely viewing position here to get a good all-around view and hopefully get some good shots of the Rhine itself. I think probably address some of the initial feedback from the community, and in terms of Dovetail not introducing period specific passenger information screens at the stations, which I think is honestly a huge loss, and they haven't even promised to bring it to the future game, and now I think it's fair to say most Train Sim World 3 players come and expect that feature in every DLC that's released. So I sincerely hope they do listen to the feedback and do make a promise to come and rectify that. And then the other thing I think a lot of people have talked about is the use of the BR 110 for freight, which traditionally it probably isn't that prototypical for this route. It would have been the BR 155 as I understand it. We do have BR 155 in the game, albeit a modern version of it, so to bring it back to the period which this is set in, which I believe is around 1997, there would have had to been some significant changes, but you never know, we might see that a little bit later down the line. Hopefully we do, because it's always nice to see a lot of variety. Let's start to look around and see what this route is all about. There you go, there's our first taste of the Rhine itself, and it's quite nice that there's definitely a bit of stutter in there, as with we'll come and expect now. That's a beautiful bit of scenery looking over the Rhine there. I do like that, and obviously this, it's you've got the steep valleys overlooking the route as well. Very cool. So the DB BR 103 in this beautiful cream and red livery, I do like it. Obviously, being with the intercity coaches being pulled behind it, it's a very nice looking train. Just come back off the power. We are up to 140 kilometres now. I think so. Playing this time just without the safety systems, I thought it was, it's better to make sure we have a good look at the route, see what it's got to offer, rather than watching me trip the safety systems every now and again. And obviously gives us a good opportunity to look around the loco, the scenery itself, because this so far looks like a beautiful, beautiful route. So yeah, I'm liking it so far. Let's just confirm the timetable. Yep, we'll be straight from Koblenz all the way to Mainz. So let's just bring up the map itself. You can get a view of the route. So as you can see, we started up here in Koblenz, and we're now making our way down, following the Rhine, which is nice to see. It's very cool to see a very kind of curvy looking piece of track. So hopefully there'll be some varying speeds that we need to adhere to. But as you can kind of feel already, we've got a pretty good viewing position actually. I quite like the raised position in the cab as we fly through a station. I'll just show you that. See, we are certainly elevated in our position. Normally, I guess more modern trains you're a little bit lower down. It gives a much better field of view from my perspective. I certainly do like that. So I think some of the things that are synonymous with this route is obviously a lot of the castles that hopefully we will come across as we make our way along this route. I'm really interested to see what your thoughts are on the route, if you've picked this up on day one or are on the fence perhaps, or have now watched it, and you know, what do you think? It'd be really interesting to know in the comments down below. So I think, as is customary with all videos, need to make sure I get a good thumbnail. I think I go this way. On a bit of a tilt as well. Lovely. I think that might have just been it, or maybe that there. I think that looks beautiful. Hopefully that will come out nicely. It's definitely a little bit laggy. So here we go. I'm going to jump at the cab just here as we fly off. But it's an opportunity to show you the Endwagon coaches that we first saw on Bremen to Oldenburg, but this time in mint, I guess mint livery, which looks absolutely fabulous, I think. And that is being pushed by the BR110, as you can see here, in a slightly different livery. I believe this is the Orient livery, as that starts to pull away from the station. Yeah, I'm liking that. It's a nice bit of variety. I wonder if we will... Let's just slow ourselves down a second. There we go. Come on. There we go. Had to wait for the interlock to come out. But some nice looking scenery. I do believe that in live you would see the right Rhine route on the opposite side of the bank there, but unfortunately in Train Sim World 3 we need to be slowing anyway. I missed that 120. Yeah, you would, because of draw distance, it hasn't been included because you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't be able to see it, so that's a little bit of a shame, but never mind. Come on. Trying to get used to these brakes. The interlock doesn't come off very quickly. It's definitely got a bit of hill action going on here. It's nice to see those vineyards over there to the right. We've slowed it down for this 100 km/h speed limit a little bit early, but that's fine. We're definitely following the Rhine, which gives it, you know, its natural curviness, which is very cool. Get a beautiful view of the scenery as we go around the bend here. obviously coming into a town here, which looks nice and built up. I believe there's in real life a very steep railway that uses, as you can see, I'll give you, you see that's a very steep bit of railway there. I believe that is true to life. There is an actual, there we go, there's our first castle. As I was saying, that's probably, you know, that is very true to life. There is a very steep railway, as I understand. As we fly through a station here, beautiful church we're coming across. The towns seem to be, you know, very nicely modelled. With looks like, yeah, absolutely period specific cars. So they've not, which is good. They've not used the modern cars, which is nice to see. And we're permitted to head up to 120 now, so as we've got another 103 coming in the opposite direction, let's use the full power of this 103 and see how fast it accelerates up to 120. Very nicely. Give you a bit of the old horn action. That's, yeah, not quite what I was expecting, but I don't hate it. Following along a little bit of a... Is that a motorway? Sorry, I'm going to call this out here. What on earth is this? We've got a road on a road. I'm sorry, what? It's a very long train we're pulling in. So permitted to go all the way up to 130 now, so let's start to increase our speed. So you can see we've made it round this quite tight curve here, and we've got a little bit more of a plain sailing before quite a curve there. We've lost sight of the Rhine. Oh no, it's just over there, just behind these houses. And again, castles on top of the hill. That's as close as I can get, I'm afraid. But very cool. Do you see any others in the distance? Very nice. Jump back in the cab. Oh. Got 120 coming up. Those brakes do take a little while to release. We'll let it cruise for now, just so that we can get down to 120. Still got 1.2 kilometers to go, so a bit of time. But you can definitely see the bank on the other side just isn't. I guess the quality of the textures is. You have to admit that is quite poor in comparison to some of the textures we naturally see this side. That does let it down a little bit, I have to say. So we got down to 120 nicely. As we again we start. Apparently 100 came out of nowhere. They are extremely strong brakes. They really are extremely strong brakes. Now, is that true to life? Doesn't feel like they should be that strong. And as well, given that they stay applied for so long. Interesting. If you know if that's prototypical, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be really interested to see the feedback on that. Making some good progress now. We're 47 kilometres from Mainz. We are coming into... Are we coming into... We've got another 110 coming in the opposite direction. It's very nice to see. So we've seen plenty of trains so far. It'd be good to see a bit of freight action perhaps coming the other way. As I say that, we can see some freight wagons just up ahead in the distance there. And we will be going down to 90 of all things. So that's 3.4 kilometres, so a little while to go yet. So as we pass these freight wagons, we'll see if there's a loco attached or it's just wagons in a siding. Oh, it is attached to a 110, so perhaps that's been pulled out of the way into a bit of a passing loop, perhaps to let us fly past at a higher speed. As we've got another one of the Mint end wagons. I love it. We're seeing a lot of services, which is great. Definitely gives it that sense of busyness, which I'd imagine this route is. I think the other thing worth noting is some of the layers. So if you own Castle Würzburg, you will get the IC1 layer in for just 2 services. Now again, this has caused a bit of controversy in the obviously Castle Würzburg is set in the modern era, last couple of years. It being layered onto a route set in the 1997 means that the train isn't necessarily accurately modelled, so the paint scheme, the livery and the interiors, which I think is a fair shout. Would it detract? I don't know. Personally, I think it's probably quite nice to have a bit of variety, but if we want it to be this route to be specific to the period, then yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. It's also worth noting the upcoming release of the Niedertalbahn. I hope I said that correctly. That will also, I believe I can't remember off the top of my head what the loco number is now, or the class number. There is a loco from that upcoming release that will layer onto this route as well. So again, I think there's a great opportunity to add a even more sense of busyness here. And I'm just going to jump out and have a look at one station here, because I think it's important to just give you a sense of what a station is like. Just up the power as well a little bit. So yeah, quite nice looking station, very kind of nondescript. Collectibles, there are the maps if you, yeah, you know what to do. Let's jump, as we go into a tunnel. So we should have the eye adaptation that we all know and kind of love from Train Sim World 3 when it works. It works beautifully. Some really nice scenery around here at the moment. So we're in a 90 section. It is quite twisty. Let's tell you what we'll do. We'll fly up the road here and we'll plonk ourselves on a bend so we can see the the 110 fly past with its IC coaches behind it. Beautiful. As we head into another tunnel. Let's see if the lighting works as intended. Yeah, see, beautiful. That's how it should be. So it's nice to see that that's been implemented correctly. So a lot of tunnels on this section. Make sure we keep our speed under control here. As we enter into a 100 km/h zone. Lovely 103. What is going on with... Sorry. What on earth is that? Yes. I think there's some missing textures there. I think Dovetail might need to look at that. Surely, though, you know, this probably gets said time and time again. Those types of things should be tested up before being released to the public. I'm sorry, but that is not acceptable. You know, the main feature of this route is about the Rhine and running along it. You can't be having something so fundamental as missing water textures. That's not on. No, sorry. That's couple that with the missing passenger information screens for the stations. I think that lets itself down. It's a beautiful route. There's some, you know, nice focus on castles, and if you're not looking at the scenery to the, you know, on the opposite side of the bank, it's, you know, it's not offensive, but if you do look too closely, yeah. Nicely modelled houses. Nice, I guess, tower with a bit of castle wall there. Very lovely. But sorry, I can't go over the texture loss. That's, or texture's not being there. That's pretty poor. We are permitted to go all the way up to 140 now, so let's get the hammer down. We've got a clock as we fly through this station. What station are we? Have we got a name here somewhere? Obersville. Obervessel? I'm probably butchering it, I apologise. Not bad looking station. Let's jump back in the cab. So we're really hammering on now. That makes sense. We're on a nice piece of straight track here before we head down to 120. Just come off the power there. We are slightly going up a gradient, so we'll let it naturally bleed some speed off. We've got 120 in just under 1.5 kilometres. So we're making some really nice progress. We've done the tight twisty bits at the top end of this route. It looks like we probably get a little bit more. We need to be applying the brakes. Definitely the brakes seem far too strong for just the application of minimum. Definitely doesn't feel prototypical. Even for modern trains, that's phenomenal braking power. So there's definitely niggles with this route. You know, I think you must, if you're going to potentially think about picking this up, go into it with your, you know, please do go into it with your eyes wide open. It'd be nice to see some fixes come to this quite quickly. And also the PIS, make the commitment, Dovetail Games, because something like that for the passenger information screen, that should be a core feature. This is lovely, you know, run along this side. There's some really lovely elements to this route, and on the other hand, as we just, sorry, again, I'm going to call it out. The list of things here is ridiculous. We've got cars going through level crossings. There you go, we've just had a car, you know, go through the train. Oh, apologies. Again, how is that allowed to get through any type of quality testing? I find that absolutely baffling. Let's pick the speed back up. Just need to be mindful. We've got 120 couple of kilometers. There's a nice little stutter for you as well. Let's come back down from the power now. Oh, wrong way. And again, don't have to be too hard on the brakes here. It's definitely a great looking model. It's like is this an abandoned station perhaps? No, it's still working. It's nice though, looking out over the Rhine. I can imagine this would be a really fun route to drive in the snow. I think I certainly will give that a go in the next video, which should be hopefully me driving the Mint N-Wagons and probably the BR 110, both in its passenger and freight formations. Really intrigued to see how that loco performs on this route. I'd imagine probably quite well. So we've got 20 minutes or so to do 32 kilometers. Should be doable. Should be quite doable. Again, this is not a hugely fast-paced route. This is all about really, you know, taking in the scenery, which is beautiful. We're matching this car to our right here. Let's try and overtake it as we see another 103 coming in the opposite direction. Hopefully, as we start to make our way down to the bottom end of this route, we can hopefully pick the speed up. Got emergency brake release. Look at some of these new switches here. If you've driven the 110, it will feel very similar, I think it's fair to say. Yeah, I would say that's probably all very familiar to you. It's nice to see dynamic weather has brought in a slight bit of cloud. I do like those mint N-Wagons. We see another, yep, car go through the level crossings there, and another one. Unbelievable. Probably see some, no, that one's actually stopped there, so some of them are working, some of them are clearly not. It's very nice. So you can see again in the background now, that hill or the valley has completely lost. I assume it's lost all, from a texture perspective, it's lost all of its trees off there. I understand there's also, yeah, we've seen it. Oh, there's a couple of barges. Obviously, this very much is a working river in terms of use of barges, etc. So nice to see that. Perhaps nice to see a few more boats, more sort of pleasure boaty. That would be very cool. Add a bit of, again, a bit more immersion to this route. We've had a pretty clear run. Oh, we have had an absolute clear run all the way from Koblenz. Looks like we're coming into, I would imagine, some kind of station perhaps? Or sidings, yeah. I believe this is one of the famous signal boxes, so let's need to slow down. But again, we'll just hold minimum on for a little while because, again, the brakes are just ridiculously powerful. Nice. Ah, this is pretty cool to see. A nice busy station here with a 110 behind some freight, and obviously some more freight stabled here. We've got another 103. We need to be braking. Nice. And again, so as I was saying, the signal box, if we just fly back up here, that's pretty unique in the sense that it hangs right over the tracks there. We've held on the brakes there for a little too long as we wait for the brakes to disengage. Come on. Looks like we're going to be going up to 160 very shortly, so full power is required. I was too busy wanting to show you. We've got wheel slip going on there. Unbelievable. Another, it's what looks to be another signal box hanging over the station, or is that part of the station, do you wonder? Who knows? So we're now permitted to get all the way up to 160 kilometers an hour. Really get to stretch the legs of this 103. I imagine this is where we start to make up our time to get to Mainz on time, hopefully. Let's just look where we are on the map. So yep, I imagine we'll slow down for this, I guess where we merge with another line here. I'm not sure what that one is. But at that junction obviously we need to merge, and then pretty close to the Mainz itself. And that's looking like it's got a lot of, actually looks like it's pretty damn busy, so that will be very cool to go through. It definitely feels like more of a build-up area, and we've evidently left the Rhine behind now. There we go, we've got up pretty much to our 160 mark. Make sure we can maintain that speed for now. We will need to be slowing down very shortly for 150. Definitely feels like we're going into countryside now. And we definitely can't see the Rhine. Can we? Maybe just? No, I don't think so. I don't think we can now. So 20 kilometers to go. Which 12-ish minutes. I think we should be fine. And it looks like we're about to go through that junction that we were just looking at a second ago. As we take the curve, and then we should see the junction coming to our right there. What's that say? Couldn't quite make that out. And then we'll be permitted to get back up to 160. It'd be nice to look around those icy carriages once we get to Mainz, so you can get a feel for what they are like inside. We've got 150 coming up, so we need to think about where we come off the power. Probably if we start to slow, hopefully down a little bit. There we go, we'll start to see the speed come down. We've still got 1.2 kilometers, but we are going down slightly. There's the 15 mark. Again, those brakes are pretty phenomenal. As we take this curve, we pretty much got down to 150 spot on there. And then again, we can be heading back up to 160. What can we see? Definitely just feels like we are, industrial there to our right hand side. Just feels like we're entering into, I guess, the city of Mainz. back up to 160 kilometers an hour. There's not too much to describe about take my viewpoint on the scenery here. Very much, you know, a lot of trees. I guess that's a road there to the left hand side of us, and to the right. We're at pretty nice cruising speed at the moment, eating into those kilometres. See what we've got to go. So we've got this curve here, and yeah, we're pretty much there then. Spot on. I definitely feel like there's some great stopping services to drive, I guess, with probably the Mint M wagons and the BR110. The 103 is very much around intercity services. So yeah, definitely two very different, distinct types of gameplay, and then obviously on top of that, you've got freight. So there's a nice bit of variety in terms of different types of services that can be played on this route. I will give that positive. The loco looks well modeled. Oh, here we go. As you'll notice, a lot of the stutters are ever present, but loco looks, you know, modelled very nicely from an outside perspective. A little bit of the brakes a little bit too harsh. It's a shame that the PIS is still missing, with no promise of it ever being introduced. I sincerely hope that changes. The texture loss on the Rhine, that's just unacceptable, along with cars going through level crossings when the gates are down. Those are just two errors, bugs, issues, whatever you want to call them, that should not be allowed to slip through there for public release. That should absolutely be being picked up by whatever quality processes they've got in place. On that, very nice route. I guess, what would my overall view be? It's okay. It's not going to set the world on fire. Partly because of the issues I've just outlined. It'd be great to see what the route's like with the additional layer from Littertail I guess for me that probably would add another bit of variety, which would be great. But those niggling issues just lets this route down, I think, for me, based on my first look. Obviously, we'll continue to play it over the next couple of days. As we get more used to it, we may have a slightly different opinion, perhaps. But I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are about this route in the comments down below. And obviously, don't forget the non-prototypical use of the BR110 for freight. I can live with that. It would be nice to see the 155. I guess be introduced maybe as a loco pack, in its more as a more prototypical version of it for this route. But it's got a good amount of business so far. I like it. I really do. I think we need to be thinking about slow in. 1.5 kilometers out, so we're going to minimum for now. As we get the indication, we'll be going into 100 kilometers an hour zone. start to release off the brakes. We know it takes a little while for the brake pressure or the brake cylinder to release its pressure and to stop us from braking too much. So that was nicely done. A little bit of odd movement there. I think we can continue probably without any application on the power. We can just let it cruise at this speed, or not cruise, just coast at this speed, should I say. We're going to be pretty much bang on time actually, which is great. So what have we got here? It's like perhaps a bit of a freight yard. As we start to slow down. Yeah, we've definitely got some freight here. We'll just get out of the cab here and have a little look round, see what we've got. So it looks like we've got some IC coaches, quite a lot of IC coaches. We've got a couple of BR110s with its mint coaches, and then a lot of freight. Very nice. Actually, we need to be probably slowing down a little bit more aggressively here. There we go. It does take a while for that brake cylinder pressure to ease off. Perhaps that's well, I think it's twofold. It's the power of those brakes, and obviously, and also the length of time it takes for the brakes to ease off. I'm really interested to know if that is actually true to life, or whether they are a little bit overpowered. But this is Mainz Hub Bahnhof. Very nice. Pretty cool station. Perhaps I'd like to see it a little bit busier. It was nice on the approach to see that busyness of the coaches and the various stock there. We can see our red light just ahead. Make sure we get our braking point or our stopping points hopefully as spot on as we can. And then I want to try and quickly have a look around these coaches. Almost there, almost there. We are literally just coasting in a very slow speed here. There we go, we should be pretty spot on. Four meters, we'll unlock those doors. And then quickly we'll run. Where's the door? Can I get down please? Thank you very much. Nice little action. Let's jump in the coach here. So climb up and open these doors. Pretty nice coaches actually. Yep. No passengers as you'd expect. They should have all, well, got off that quickly. I'm not sure. But yeah. What has happened to that? Where are the colours gone? What is going on? Honestly, the amount of bugs. Oh, and I don't know what's going on with my mouse there. And again, we've got another one. Honestly, that's really poor. Oh, I'm not even going to try and defend that. What the hell? Again, we'll add that to the lighting issues. There's a whole host of number of bugs with this route. Personally, if it doesn't get fixed and it stays in this state, I would advise probably picking it up in the sale and not, not as a full price release. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you have, why don't you hit that like button and also subscribe for more content like this. And just to round it off, of course, is the gold medal, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.